What's up, everybody? We got a viewer question today, and I think this one is a banger. I really appreciate when you guys leave questions, especially like this one, because I think they make for really good YouTube videos that are going to help a bunch of people because a lot of people are wondering exactly what this guy is. So, this question is this: what accuracy level or group size should we be striving for when practicing drills? For example, if a fist size group is what we would want at 7 yards on the doubles drill, how does that translate to other drills such as designated target drill, bill drill, or whatever? Should we be expecting the same group size, shot speed on other drills? Is just the A zone good enough? I'm trying to make sure I don't get lazy, but at the same time, not expect something that isn't realistic. So, easiest way to dive into this is to talk about some of the drills that he mentioned here, just to give people an idea of what they should be looking for. So, if you take the doubles drill, at 7 yards, like he's saying. So you'll have an open target like this. The idea being you're just going to draw the gun, look to a small spot on the target, pull the trigger twice as fast as you possibly can. Now, what you're looking for here is trends on the target, and this is what I want to dive into. So you're looking for trends on the target. A really common trend might be this. Maybe the first round goes exactly where you would want it to, and then the second round goes a little left. So bang, 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 right? That's someone that is doing something like putting a bunch of tension and a bunch of effort into trying to return the gun like too much, right? And they're blowing by the spot that they're trying to hit, and they end up shanking rounds low left. That would not be good. That person is not able to isolate just the trigger finger from moving. The entire grip is basically snatching on the gun and causing those low left shots. Another really common trend would be in the middle and then high right, especially for a righty. Middle, high right, middle, high right. And that's just someone that is basically staring at the dot as it lifts, or the dot is catching their attention for a split second, as it lifts. It's like you look at the spot, and then as soon as the dot starts to lift, it catches your attention, and that is where the second shot is going to go. Like, that would not be good. Ideally, if we do this drill everything correctly, I'm going to look to the spot the entire time where I want the gun to return to, i.e. a really small spot in the middle of the target. And I'm not doing things like changing pressures on the gun. Ideally, you should have 2 rounds on top of each other. So again, this is just a drill to tie cause to effect and give you opportunity to diagnose what you might be doing with your grip and your vision. This way you can make changes in those behaviors in your training. To me, like a lot of these drills that he mentioned here, it's like these show you how to train, and they bring out specific types of behaviors. And that's why, shooting drills isn't really about the drill, it's about the skill that you're trying to pull out of it. But if we're talking about shot size or group size and shot speed on targets, I think it's a lot more productive way to think about this in terms of looking for trends on the target, not just like, all right, I'm just going to shoot for all alphas. I think that is a really, I think that's kind of a flawed thing if you're doing that all the time, right? Where you go, yep, I'm just going to look at the entire alpha. Alphas anywhere are really good. And it's like, alphas anywhere are really good in a match for sure. Like, give me all of the alphas in a match. If I have one right here and one right here, that's 10 points, dude. 10 points is 10 points. I don't need them to be centered up. However, I think as a training strategy, that is definitely flawed. We should be looking at more than just that in our training. This way, we have the ability to, again, apply cause and effect and make ourselves better. So, we should be looking for as tight as possible. And if not, what are those trends on the target? And I think a good example of this, we'll use one of the other drills that he talked about here, the designated target drill. So designated target drill, maybe you have 4 or 5 targets, couple open targets, couple partial targets at varying distances. This way you get different, each one presents a little bit differently, and you get to engage them a little bit differently. Things that you'd be looking for on this drill or looking to work on something like this, obviously transitions, like racing your eyes off of the target, looking to a really particular spot on the next one, especially if it's something like a partial, like where would you want to look on this style target? Like you would want to look in the high corner of the alpha, right? Looking at, aiming strategies, confirmation levels, etc. So maybe you have the designated target drill set up and you go all alphas is fine by me. I don't think that's good enough. I think what you want to be looking for, again, is trends on the target. Maybe you have an open target like this one at 15 yards, and that's the only one that you're dropping Charlies on. And the Charlies are right here on your way into this target. So maybe say, just as an example, you shoot this drill 4 times and you've got 5 Charlies right here on this target on the way into this target. To me, that's a trend. It's like every single time you shot this drill, you scored a couple Charlies on the way into this target. You drug onto that target. So like that is telling you something. That's telling you, what your common behaviors are that you might want to start looking at fixing, right? So looking for trends on the target is way more productive than like just all alphas at this speed, right? If that is your trend where you're doing something like dragging onto the target, maybe that particular one, open target at 15 yards, gives you a little bit of anxiety, right? And then you start doing something like staring at the dot and try to control it with your eyes. And then you just see brown behind the dot instead of like, nope, I want the bullets to go right there in the middle of the alpha. And then you start dragging onto the target. Maybe you do something like shove really hard to that target and then just smash as soon as you see brown instead of a very small spot on the center of the target. And by no means I'm telling you to, wait until the dot comes to a complete stop, right? If I'm looking to a small spot, I don't need the dot to come to a complete stop. But what I do need it to do is come near the spot that I'm looking. And if you're doing things like dragging onto the target, that ain't what's happening, right? So again, look for, trends on the target. And I think that this is going to be a whole lot more productive way for you to go about training because it's going to allow you to apply cause and effect and see what, you need to do on specific type of targets. The designated target drill, great example. Again, if you have things happening on one specific type of target at that distance, it's like, well, I know what I need to work on now, right? Like that target I don't like. Or maybe it's, something like a head box at 25. Oh, I really don't like that. It gives me anxiety and I'm shooting him over the head because, I see this white line in the corner of my vision or in the bottom of my vision. I'm like, oh God, please, sweet baby Jesus in heaven, don't let me shoot the no shoot. And then you end up doing something like slowing down and getting your hits or just missing the head completely because you're so scared to shoot that thing. So again, looking for trends on the target, way more productive way to think about training instead of just like, hey, all alphas are great. I agree with you, all alphas are great, but like look to more than just that. Look to more than just the times on the the drills or whatever. Look to specific trends on the target and try to apply cause and effect to why those are happening. This way, you guys can go back and change some of these behaviors that you're seeing that are common for you. Anyway, that's what I got on that. Drop me a question, comment below if you guys have any.